Okay, here we are in the Honda. It's a clean little car for a 97. All right, now on this particular Honda, you know, if you got a little code reader or something, to find the diagnostic connector, what you're gonna do is, because it's in the ash behind the ashtray, so what you gotta do is put the key in the on position. Make sure we don't have no music playing, and then they'll delete my video. Wait a minute now. Okay, put the gear shifter all the way back. Anything in the way, you want to move it out of the way. Take the ashtray out, and you see down there, there's the diagnostic connector. So let's get the Actron hooked up. And I'm gonna let me shut the heat off. All right, now, oh yeah, also, you know, we can put the car back in park and shut the key off. All right, let me get this Actron hooked up. Let me get it hooked up, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. First thing you want to do is put the key in the on position till you see the lights light up on the dashboard. Let's get a good look at this. All right, enter. We're gonna go on the global. Now you can go on the VIN specific, but global's a pretty good option. So we're gonna go on the global. Keep it. Cable's already hooked up. Turn the ignition off for 10 seconds. Really, you don't have to do that. You just leave it the way it is. Enter. Let me see. I want to make sure I get you, because there's a big glare here, so I want to make sure you can see the screen. There we go. Then you scroll down to diagnostic codes. Read the codes. Waiting for the computer to link up with the vehicle's computer. It's going through a different couple of protocols till it finds which one is the best link, and there it is. It's linked. Communicating, enter. Okay, we got one code, P0401. P0401 EGR Insufficient Flow. That code, it can be an easy fix. Hey, how's it going? Or it can be a very, that's the garbage man dropping off, bringing the garbage can back. You know, it's cool around here in Rocky Mount sometimes. You know, the garbage man, they will bring the garbage can back up to you. You know, that's some service right there. All right. It could be an easy code to fix, or it could be a difficult code. So let me set the camera back up, and I'm going to explain to you about 401, because it's very important that when you're diagnosing vehicles, you must understand the system that code references to, how it operates. Because once you understand that, you can easily diagnose this car. Because, you know, usually you go to you know, I hate to say it. You go to like AutoZone, you know, they see this code, yeah, you need an EGR valve. Yeah, there you go. And then they don't fix the problem, then you're like wondering what the heck happened. So let's shut the key off. And I'm gonna go set the camera up, and I'm gonna explain to you about 401. Be right back. Okay, we up here set up. Now, P0401. When your car is running, if you was to apply vacuum to the EGR valve, EGR, exhaust gas recirculation, it recirculates the exhaust valve, exhaust gas, come back in so you can burn it again. Once that EGR valve opens up, it does cause a little sputter in the engine. You don't feel it at all, but your mass airflow sensor or your map sensor feels that. So the computer is going by that sensor, the map sensor. So if it doesn't feel no fluctuation going on in there, that means it ain't flowing. It could be the EGR valve, it could be the map sensor, it could be, number one thing I noticed is the exhaust port. With the EGR valve, you got a port going from the intake side and the exhaust side. If it gets clogged up, the EGR valve might be working, but because it's clogged up, the map sensor is not reading that change in that fluctuation in idle, so it triggers that code. First thing to do is to diagnose this is the let's check out the EGR valve. Let's see if that's working. Be right back. Okay, the first thing to do is look for the EGR valve. Okay, there it is right there, EGR valve. This also has an EVP, exhaust valve. You know, it let the computer know what position the exhaust valve is in. Now you see this vacuum hose right here? Every single car. What you're gonna do is, now remember, the exhaust, if you think of an EGR valve, it has two holes in it. One port goes to the intake side and the other port goes to the exhaust side. When that valve opens up, this engine should start sputtering out if it opens up constantly. But the computer's constantly triggering off and on. I mean, variable times, a bunch of times throughout 1 second. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna disconnect this hose and we're gonna hook up a vacuum pump to here. And when the car's running, we're gonna put the vacuum pump on, and this engine should start stuttering out, stuttering. And if it does, I know right there the ports are good. Then that's a lot of the diagnostics gone already. All right. Also, at the same time, when we apply the vacuum to it, the vacuum should hold to let me know that the diaphragm inside the EGR valve is good. All right. So let's go over here. You know, before we got the screwdriver right here to take off that hose. This is what you call a vacuum pump. Without thing, I can't. Let me see if I can. Let's put this camera down for a second. Okay. Now, put this around like this. You see the gauge right there? Now, when I push this pump, it sucks. It creates a vacuum inside there. And see that gauge? If I'm holding now, when I do the pump like this, the gauge don't go anywhere. But if I put my finger on it and press it, see how it goes up? Now there was still some leak in it, that's why it drained down. But see, if I can put my finger on it, you see how it holds and then it drops. So now what I'm gonna do, a EGR valve opens up about 8 psi. So what I'm gonna do is 8 vacuum units. Hook up a tube to it, and while the car's running, well, you know, first of all, you know, it's starting to rain out here. Hope we can get this done. Let me set this up. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Just to let y'all know, we got Rocky Mount's finest over here. Yeah, that's the vehicle. One of the officers are working on their vehicle. This is a cool car, man. You gotta admit, those are the cool cars. All right, now I got the vacuum pump hooked up to this. Now when I apply vacuum to this, up to about 8, it should hold without going nowhere. So you go up. See how that holds? So already, I know the vacuum pump, I mean, the EGR valve is good because the EGR valve is holding. So what we're gonna do is release it. So already, that saves one thing. We don't have to change the EGR valve. Now what we're going to do is go over here, start the vehicle up. Now you're really not going to notice a, hold on, let me make sure everything is shut off here. Okay, you're really not going to notice a change if the car is running at a high idle. So it's good to let the car idle down just a little bit, and then we're going to apply the vacuum to the EGR valve. Because right now, let me see if it makes a difference. I see it don't make a difference at all because the car is idling high. So we're going to let the car idle down just a little bit. And then we're going to check it. But I ain't like the way it did already. I got a feeling we got a clogged port somewhere. the officer. There he is. That's Officer Harrison McDaniels of the Rocky Mount PD, one of our customers. Great guy, great officer. All right. You know, I don't know. You like when you get to know officers, like it's not like an officer anymore. It's like a good friend. Yeah, you need to keep that in mind. Okay. Car's still idling a little bit high. It's starting to come down. I ain't like that. All right, we're gonna let this car warm up, and after it warms up, we're gonna come back and we're gonna do a test. Now, what this is doing, as I said, now we know the EGR valve is good. The diaphragm is great. The EGR valve has the capability of opening and closing. So once that engine idles down, we're gonna apply vacuum to the EGR valve, and this engine should start stalling out. And actually, sometimes it actually will stall out. So, and if it don't, that means the port is clogged. Then we get into a little bit of complications with this. All right, so we'll be right back once this car warms up. Okay, we're back. As you can see, we got a nice idle right here going on and everything. All right, now we do the test. Remember, you got to do this test when the car is idling at its normal operating temperature. Okay, you ready? Let's open this up. No change at all. Okay, let's shut this vehicle off. Now, we're already 90% diagnosing it. We got the diagnosing down 90%. Now we know there's a clog somewhere from here. Now, this could be a complicated thing because the ports on these is very, very small. So it could be a problem. I believe the last time we did a job like this on a Honda, we had I'm not sure whether it was a V6. I'm about to find out. But we had to take off the intake, and that carbon buildup is just something else. So what we're going to do is, in the meantime, we're going to unplug this EGR valve. Do it the quick way. And we're going to take this EGR valve off. Okay, we're done with the vacuum pump, because we know EGR valve is good. So let's get that EGR valve off. And as you can see, the bolts on it are kind of like hidden. So I'll probably get a universal. Looks like about a 10 or a 12. Let's get that taken off. Okay, we'll try to set this camera up in the best possible position. Okay, there's our EGR valve right there. And so we got two 12mm bolts. So what I got here is a 1/4" drive extension. Man, that bolt tight. Let me go get me a better ratchet. And I just gotta hope the socket can hold together. It seems like that's pretty tight. Snaps, I'm in trouble. Great. Okay, let's go to the other side. I hope the bolt came loose. The nut came loose and not the... You know that sounded tight. Alright, let's get these bolts off of here. Matter of fact, let's get you so you can see get a better look at this. Now once you loosen them up enough, you can probably get down there with your fingers and take them off the rest of the way. Make sure there's no washers down there or nothing. Okay, there we go. Get the EGR valve. And you see there's 2 ports there. And matter of fact, it'd be best to show you like this. Let me get this camera set up and show you what this EGR valve does. It's got this little, you see this little pintle right there? That's right. Now when you apply vacuum to right here, the diaphragm right there, the air pressure, the vacuum in there creates an air, opens, pulls down, pulls up, and opens that pintle up. And just like I said before, it's supposed to hold. So let me see if I can get this done with one hand. Let me put this right here. Okay, so we're gonna put this on. And you see we got our vacuum pump hooked up. Now let's watch that pintle. I'll make sure that pintle goes up. See that? All the way up. See how the vacuum is holding? Now watch when I release vacuum. Come right back down. So we know EGR valve is doing its job. So again, you know, a lot of times you go to AutoZone, you go to one of these quick places, that's the first thing they want to tell you is that you need an EGR valve. And we know, just from diagnosing, doing these procedures, it don't. Now over here, let's get a little light. This is it's gonna be kind of okay. Now what we got is 2 ports here. We got one over here. Now if I'm looking at this correctly, one goes to the exhaust side and one goes to the intake side. Now pretty much the side to the intake is never clogged. I mean hardly ever. It's your exhaust side that you have to worry about. And you know, let me get this here. As I'm looking down in there, let's see if I can get you to see. You see that there's a little hole down there. That's the passage. So what you gotta do, you gotta make sure that passage, actually that might go onto the intake side. I'm not sure. I don't think I know. We gotta pull this whole intake off of the car to unclog whatever's being clogged. Now what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna take a little wire, a little nice wire, and try to run it down there. Maybe we can clear it up. But and it's you know, it's bad about this. Remember that port goes to the exhaust side too. So you know, I wonder if it's easier. You know, it might be easier to take off the exhaust manifold and run it back that way instead of the intake. You know, I think we might do that better. Be a lot less work. So what I'm saying is, there's a port between here and over there. Somewhere along that line, it's clogged. We gotta unclog it. What's bad about this is the port may go on through the head. It doesn't mean you gotta take off the head. It's just, it's gonna be a lot to clean out. Get a nice long wire would do it. But we're gonna try to get us a little wire and see what can we do. We'll be right back. Okay, what I got here is some wire. See this wire right here? Alright, now what we're gonna try to do, remember that hole we saw down there? So what we're gonna try to do here, you know, just like a snake in a plumbing, we're gonna try to run this wire down there and I did feel a little jam up there, and it's going. And we're trying to hope we can clean this out without having to remove anything. And actually, see, I can hear it right now inside the manifold over there. That's good. This might be done. Might have did it. I think got a lot of stuff on it. All right, just to be sure, let's see if we can go to the intake side. But just like I said, the intake side is usually good. Hey man, actually, hey man, I got a little problem here on the intake side. Let's get a little light and see in there. See here. I'm gonna try to get down in there. Cause the wire just went down on the exhaust side. That wire, you can see this wire. I'm getting some stuff in there. So. I'm not looking forward to having to take this intake off. Maybe it's cleared out. Maybe. Or just maybe. I might be going the wrong way. Let's try over this way. Oh, man. Can't really see down in there, so I have no idea. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna spray a little carburetor cleaner down there. Just see if it breaks up. Then we're gonna put that EGR valve back on. Alright. Let's spray a little carburetor cleaner down there. We'll be right back. Okay. Spray a little carburetor cleaner down here. And what I did was cut the wire so I can control it more. And it looks like now you remember last time I took the wire out, actually from right on this other end, I was able to go down just that much, and then it stopped. And, you know, it looks like I went a lot further now over here. So let's get this. Now let's see. Let's mark my finger right here. Oh yeah, look how far I went. Oh yeah. Let's get that EGR valve back on. Now it's a good idea to use a new gasket, but this gasket is in really good condition. So let's set this EGR valve back down. Okay, let's get the two 12mm bolts, nuts, and put them on. Get this one over here. Boy, you're talking about a tight spot. Okay. Okay, then we're gonna get your 12mm 1/4" drive universal and tighten both of them up. All right. Let's tighten both of those up, and then we're going to get the vacuum pump, start the car up, let it warm up, and then we're going to do the test again, see what happens. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, we got our vacuum pump hooked up. You know, the car cooled down a lot, so we gotta, you know, let it warm up again. Get that idle below the 1,000 mark at about 700, 750. Let's see, you can see we're at about, yeah, we got about 1,200 right now. So when we come back, we're gonna let this car warm up. When we come back, we're gonna do that test. And hopefully, as I explained before, when we apply vacuum to that EGR valve, you're gonna see the engine start stalling out. If it starts stalling out, I know our problem's fixed. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Idle come down. Let's apply a little vacuum here. I got no change at all. All right. So that's going to tell me that I'm going to have, because on the exhaust side, it looks like I went all the way through to the exhaust manifold. But I got to fill in my problems on the intake side. So what I'm going to do is pull up that EGR valve again. And I'm going to see if I can run that wire even further. All right, let's get that, let's shut the car off and get that taken care of. Okay, we got that EGR valve off again. And we're going to try now, now this port that's going through here, it runs all through the intake, all back there. So, you know, dang it. Let's gotta get us a wire and we're gonna see if we can run that all the way down again. Okay, I noticed something here. This port, man, it's messing me up. But this port seems like it goes down, then it comes back up. Just a little, this little cover right here with these bolts. Like that. Remove the injector rail, and then we might be able to take that up. I just might do that, but what I'm going to do first is, I did get a lot of it out of there. I'm gonna hook up that EGR valve, try that out. If not, we're gonna remove that fuel rail. Okay, got it idling. Let's try this out again. No, it didn't. All right, let's get that EGR valve back off of there. Let's get this fuel rail out of here and get that cover off of there. All right, first what we're gonna do, let's pull out this PCV valve, swing it over to the side, tuck it somewhere. Here's your fuel rail right here. You don't have to worry about losing no gas or nothing. This thing should just move right out of the way. Now what we got gonna do here, we got some vacuum lines up here. You just remember those two vacuum lines. Yeah, these things are all tight, dang it. All right. One vacuum line goes to the intake, one will go over here to the EGR solenoid. So what we're gonna do is just pull those off. Let's get a little screwdriver. Help us out here. Both of them. Okay. 1, 2. To the side. Now, get these leads out of the way. Now, when we look up under here, we got 1, 2, 3 10mm bolts. Right there. Now, not the ones down here that's holding on the vacuum, the line for the fuel pressure regulator. On the top of those, 1, 2, and 3. 10mm bolts. Let's get those out. I'm gonna try to set this camera up so you can see what I'm doing here. Alright, those 3 bolts. Let's get a 10mm with a little extension and get those bolts out. Right back. Okay. As you can see, it looks like the lines are in the vacuum ports are in the way and all. So what I'm gonna do is give me a 10mm universal. I don't know how to ratchet over here. It's gonna make that a lot easier. Okay, as you can see, got a universal over here. Makes it a lot easier to get to these bolts. This one's in the way a little bit. Bend that out the way a little bit. Let's get that one now. Okay. Get those three out. 10mm universal 1/4" drive. Let's get those out, and then I'm gonna show you about taking out the fuel rail. It looks like there were 3 10mm nuts. I got them lined up here, over here, with the 2 EGR valve bolts. Now we got the cable from the cruise control. Let's just snap this out of the way. We need to swing this. Now, down here, we got the fuel injectors. You got one of them right there going down the intake. Now, you see the whole rail is loose. So what I'm going to do is set you up over here. And just be careful taking those out. Make sure you don't lose no O-rings or nothing. If there's any down there, we want to pop this right up, just like this. Wait, let's swing that over to the side, just like that. Simple as that. Okay, pretty easy. Yes, it was. Now what we got here, and this is that cover I was talking to you about. Let's zoom out here. You see that cover? Because it seemed like that port was going up to that cover. So we see, what do we see here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10mm bolts. Let's take those bolts out. See what we got up under there. Hopefully we can get to that, get that car instead of removing that intake. That's my main thing. You know, I want to, you know, usually the shop would have told them, you know, you got to take off the intake. I'm not looking to do that. If we can save the customer money and do it another way and still come out and still achieve the same thing, you know, job well done, I like to go that way. Let's take those off, and we come back. We're gonna take a look down in there. We'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Got the bolts off. It's getting cold out here. All right, let's take this cover and see what we got here. Vacuum. What the heck? Look at all this. Whoa. Look at all that. Look at all that stuff up there. And you know, you see, here we go. Port. Let's go over here to the let's get a little wire and make sure that that does go toward this way. Okay. Oh yeah, there it is. There's our wire right there. I can see it. And look at all this carbon built up over here. Look at that. Wow, 4 ports. Oh yeah. All right, so let's get us some. Man, I don't know what to get. I don't know what we're gonna do, Harrison. Let's see here. We're gonna have to clean out those ports right there. So we're gonna take our time now. What we're gonna do is we can probably get us a screwdriver or something and clean it out. But we want to make sure we don't mess up nothing. So we need to check the diameter of one of these holes. Now let me get you a good look and see. So you can see what's going on here. See that? That's 1, 2, 3 and 4. And 4 of them all clogged up. Let's go to this one right here. And these are ports going into the intake. Wow. Try to get one of them. Wow, that one went through over there. But man, look at the stuff coming out of there. Alright, we're gonna get us a little flat screwdriver and clean those out. Can I set you? Let me see if I can set you right here. And guess not. Yeah, that's good right there. Alright, let's go we're gonna get us a little screwdriver. I'll be right back. Alright, what I got here is a flat screwdriver, little bitty one. And I did one of the holes already. I wanted to show you here. Now, you see how I cleaned that one up right there? Look at the diameter of that. Now, a little while ago, I couldn't even get the wire in there. So now I know the diameter of this hole, and that's how much this thing is clogged up. Each and every one. Look at it. Can't even go down in there now. But now I know, so now I know diameter. So we gotta clean out all 4 of those. Wow, man. So what's gonna do? Let's clean out all 4 of those. And then we're gonna come back and clean out that manifold. All right, now as I said, these things are O-ring the fuel rail. You see this one over here? Yeah, you want to make sure all those are on. And we might stick those back in the intake, but let's get those holes cleaned up, then we'll come right back. Okay, we got those 4 cleaned out with the screwdriver. Got them pretty well. Now what I want to do now is we're gonna hook up a little air. Set you down right here. And all that stuff out of there. We want to just blow into each one. Make sure it's all cleaned out. You can actually hear the air in them. Okay, we're good with that. Now we're gonna go over here to this to the manifold, because this is clogged too. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff in here. You can see all this right here. See all that? All those ports. All that got to be cleaned out. We got to get all that out of there. All right. And then on the gasket, as you can see, there's ports that's clogged out too. So we got to clean those out. So let's get those cleaned up, and you get yours cleaned up, and we're ready to set that back on. Be right back. All right, here we go. This took about 15 minutes here to clean out. You want to make sure, back this up a little bit, make sure the whole line is cleaned out, both lines, little ports going there, and the 4 ports on the gasket. Make sure you clean that gasket up. All right, we've threw some air around here and all that. Let's set this up and get this bolted back in. Be right back. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's get this thing bolted back down. Start the bolts, start them by hand. Make sure they're going in pretty good. As I said, there's 5 of them. Make sure the ports are lined up on your gasket. don't, we'll mess up. Alright, it's getting cold out here. Alright, let's get those tightened up. We'll come back and get those tightened up, and then we're going to lower that fuel rail back. Okay, we got that plate down there, that manifold. Now, as I said, make sure your O-rings are still in place on the injectors. You take your time. Lower the fuel rail down with the injectors on it. Well, nobody's in no rush. Everything lines up. Little screws, get a little light here, make sure we got everything perfect, because you do not want this thing leaking no fuel. It's gonna go down a little tight because you know these things do gotta stop gas, so make sure that nail's down. Now you want to start putting the nuts on, but don't tighten them up yet. Just put them on by hand. Then what we're going to do is tighten them up slowly. You're going to start from the center one, bring it down just a little bit, then go to the outer ones each side, you know, alternate. Till you get them down flush. So let's do that. And then, you know, after that you can hook up your cruise control cable, hook up the vacuum lines we took off before, and bring back across the PCV valve. All right, we'll be right back. All right, got all that hooked back up. Got our PCV valve hooked up. Our fuel rails down there, great. Got our vacuum lines hooked back up. Let's get that EGR valve back on. We're gonna run it to another test. I mean, we took this off and on a lot, so I shouldn't have to video this. You know exactly how to take that EGR valve off. So I'm gonna get mine. Let's get that EGR valve on. Okay, got the car running. As you can tell, it's got a high idle to it. So let's see where this thing is idling at. Oh yeah, it's up there. So we gotta wait till this car warm up again. But I don't know about you, but I feel pretty confident that we got it fixed. So we're gonna get these tools out of the way. And get ready to put the tools up and all. And after the car warms up, we're gonna come back and we're gonna do our test. As you can see, I already got the vacuum pump hooked up, ready to go. All right, when it warms up, we'll come back and test it. Okay, we're back. Harrison, do me a favor, because one time, let's see if you can hear it. Once in a while you hear a little click. It's the spark plug wires arcing off to the side, so it'll get you for tune-up after all this is done. Alright, here we go. Time for the dig test. Got the valve hooked up and everything. Let's put a little vacuum to it. Look at that, car stalling right out. You can't tell me. Can you dig it? That's what the car's supposed to do. That's it. Oh, you know what? See, if I try to start it up right now, this car won't even start because I still, as you can see, I still got a little vacuum. And I didn't even reach up. You know, that was great work right there because I only went up to about 3 HG on the vacuum, and that thing stalled right out. This thing is going to be perfect. Let's get this, start this back up. Matter of fact, what we're going to do is, while we got this like this. Let's go right ahead and yes, let's clear these codes out. Come on, communicate. All right, let's go back here. Now again, we go down here to diagnostic codes, read codes. P0301, cylinder 1 misfire. That's that. I knew that, kind of figured out, but that was me cleaning out everything. This is the code we worried about. P0401 EGR flow insufficient. Yeah, with all that carbon we had up there, yep, that was going to be insufficient. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back. Now, a good thing right here is pending codes. Pending codes, it's codes that's not in there. And 1399, I'm not worried about that one. And 401, that's problems the computer picked up, but it's just not enough to trigger that check engine light yet. So when we checked it out, we only had the one code. So let's go out here, let's erase the codes. Are you sure? Yes, I am. Command sent. Now let's go back, read the codes. System pass. Pending. System pass. All right, we're good with that. Remember, let's go over here and put this shifter back. Let's put the ashtray back in here. Okay, there was something. There it is. Air freshener. Shut the key off. Let's go out here. We're going to disconnect our vacuum pump. Connect back the EGR valve like it's supposed to be. That's perfect.